If you had a friend that was suffering through some kind of a tragedy or terrible depression, and you knew that you could run to the rescue of that friend and help them, you probably do just about anything. You probably do almost anything for a good friend. I have been in many, many, many situations over the years where I was able to just drop everything and go. I had a girlfriend in the hospital with sick twins before. Was able to, just gotten home from a long trip, was able to jump in the car and go to the hospital and stay with her for quite a while and, help the twins. And we all have stories. We all have stories. We do almost anything for a friend to help them. And this is an especially important time of year to keep track of yourself and your kids and your friends, because the winter months are here, and even though the days are getting longer, and that's a good thing. I'm sorry, I have a lifesaver in my mouth again. Days are getting longer, and that's a good thing. For some reason, the month of March is the worst for depression and suicides. The last time I knew, which was many years ago, I had somebody tell me that statistically that March is the worst month of the year for that. Nobody really wants to play the if only game. If only I had known this, or if only I had known that, I could have done this or that or the other thing to help a friend. But we really can at least make an effort to keep tabs on our close friends and our kids and stay in close touch with your kids. I don't know too much about the warning signs for suicide, if there are any, but I do remember reading and hearing that that once a person has made the decision to do that, that they seem happier and relieved and in a better mood for several days or however long prior to that time, because they've made the decision to do that, and they're like free from the worry, at least in their own mind at that time. I had a friend stop by today unexpectedly, and she brought me this. God, well, you can see it. She brought me this beautiful rose in a vase, and I thought that was really sweet. And I had a friend stop by unexpectedly yesterday and visit. That doesn't mean that you have to run out and get a beautiful long stem red rose to take to your friends, but a phone call, a note, an email, a voicemail, whatever, just try to keep in touch with people and keep tabs on things. You might want to, just for your own well-being, you might want to come up with a list, and this is kind of a preparedness kind of thing and kind of not, but you might want to come up with a list of things if you're feeling blue or discouraged that would be a benefit and a help to you, places you might want to go, things you might want to do. There is something to be, back to the food issue here, there's something to be said for the effect that carbohydrates and chocolate have on your brain. Not that I have actually read articles that said that chocolate can be as effective as Prozac for depression, and I always said Prozac has, I gotta be careful how I word this here. There's been some discussion about the risk of suicidal thoughts and so forth having to do with antidepressant drugs in general. How's that? But I've never known anybody who decided to end their life over chocolate or having had chocolate. So it's not really funny. It's not something to joke about. But you might want to keep things in mind, a little list of things you could do, places you could go. Community education classes are really nice. I remember one fall when I was really kind of between a rock and a hard place with some things that I couldn't control, medical issues again. I'm jumping around from topic to topic here, but at any rate, I had an older lady friend of mine tell me that one time when she was kind of struggling, that she signed up for community education classes. So I signed up for everything in the book, not in the community education book, but I signed up to make a copper snowman. I signed up to make a crystal watch. I'm trying to think what else I signed up for. I signed up to make a rock birdhouse, which I ended up not doing that. I let somebody else have my birdhouse that night. Signed up for a purpose-driven life group in my community and met with them for 6 weeks. Took an aerobics class even though I was in bad shape. I mean, not I was in bad medical shape. How's that? But I signed up for an aerobics class and I did what I could at that. And I was, even though I was in a mess, I was running a little bit of track around the high school track that year. So you might want to come up with a list of things that would be a blessing and a benefit to you, but please keep an eye on your loved ones, especially the next 12 to 16 weeks. Try to keep open lines of communication. Try to take good care of yourself. And I'm trying to remember what else I wanted to say in this video. It seems like there was something. It seems like there was something else. We all have bad days and we all have bad weeks. But when it turns into one bad week after another, or you get to the point that you can't lift yourself up, then it's time to really get some help. Reach out to get some kind of assistance, and sometimes medication is necessary to get people through times like that. So just a little heads up, we're going to all try to remain cheerful and on top of the world, and if we have a bad day, we're going to try not to have two. If we have two, we're going to try not to have three. So God bless your efforts in that regard, and it was really, really nice of her to bring this rose. And the thing that's nice now is that after the rose wilts, the video will still be here, and I'll still have a picture of the rose, so that's kind of nice. But especially stay close to your teens and talk to them and help them know that if they, they don't meet all of their goals and expectations, it's not the end of the world. There's also, I particularly am very slanted in my opinions, but I think that there's a lot of pressure on kids as they get older, as they leave high school, and sometimes they just have a lot. It's just such a transitional time for them, trying to decide what they want to do for their education, and they're coming and going and doing things, and their friends go in opposite directions, and it's just that time of life, where things really change. And so no matter if your kids are in 6th grade or 8th grade or 12th grade, or if they're in their higher education years, just keep them close and keep the lines of communication open. And now at 7 minutes and 28 seconds, we all want to do everything that we can to prevent tragedies from occurring. And so let's just pull together, and we all have neighbors. We all have church groups. Well, we may not all have church groups, and we may not all know our neighbors, but we all have assets in our community. And sometimes the best, not always, but sometimes the best way to help yourself is to get out and help somebody else. And so you could volunteer at your school system to help the kids read, or to help in, I'm sure, lots of different capacities. So I guess I'm going to end there, but please feel free to make response videos. Please feel free to leave comments at the bottom. Please, if you suffer with seasonal affective disorder, the winter blues, there's a lot of things that you can do for it. There's light therapy. You can get full spectrum light bulbs now. GE General Electric Reveal, REVEAL, is one of the name brands of full spectrum lights that you can get. You want a strong light box. If you go to Target.com or several other places, they have lots of light boxes. As I recall, it was Target.com. They have lots of light boxes that you can get, and they used to be upwards of $300, but you can get them for less than that now. So you might want to consider. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get settled. I'm in an uncomfortable position. My legs are hurting. You want to get a high quality light box. Full spectrum light will help you with the seasonal affective disorder, which is like the winter blues. And so don't take my word for it, and do a little research. And now I'm 9.5 minutes. God bless you this winter to be happy and healthy and strong, and all of yours as well.